You know, there are two different kinds of people in this world. There are civilians and then there's soldiers. And I'm not saying that in a degrading way because I am and always have been a civilian. Now, some of you may know by now I'm dating a veteran. And believe it or not, the military is not a reoccurring discussion in our household, even though we live under the same roof. Generally, I'm a very don't ask unless if they tell kind of person. So the only knowledge that I have is what I hear in passing conversations. But it's never a topic of discussion. So this will be really cool for the two of us to learn about together today. So today we're going to talk about one of the biggest choices that you can make in your life that a lot of people are faced with at a very young age. You guessed it, joining the military. You're tuning into URL versus IRL, hosted by Bree Lynch. Hey you guys, this is Bree from the future speaking here to you. Currently I'm editing this podcast and I just wanted to do my due diligence as a precautionary measure and let you guys know that in this episode it's very lighthearted, but we do have a very quick mention of suicide, self-harm. So I'm going to provide a trigger warning for you when that part is coming up. I will make sure to label it very clearly in the chapter markers below on this episode so that if that's something that you're concerned about for yourself or someone else that might be with you while you're listening to this podcast, you can go ahead and skip ahead. When that part is coming up, for extra precautionary measure, I'm going to play this sound. And then just to be extra safe, I'll play the sound again to let you know that the trigger has passed. My apologies for the quick little interruption here, but feel free to proceed and go ahead and listen to the rest of the episode. I'd love to welcome our guests today, Josh and Paige.
Hey girl, how you doing?
Oh, wow. And she called us soldiers. How does that make you feel?
I have no thoughts.
Wait, am I not supposed to call you guys soldiers?
No, we're airmen.
Oh, yeah, sis, you messed up.
Yeah.
She didn't do it.
Yeah.
She didn't do any research.
So we're both, well, I'm an Air Force veteran. Paige is still in the Air Force. And then, Air Force members would be considered airmen. And then, soldiers would probably be Army.
That's a lie, because
Marines
if
as
shit
well.
hit the fan, we're all fighting.
Well, correct.
Right? That's kind of what I thought. I mean, I thought it was like
we soldiers.
a generalized term for...
I told her we were
No.
finger up, brother. I am a member of the armed forces.
If you came into if someone came up to me, and was like, "Hey, soldier," I'd be like, "Get the fuck out of my face!" At work, I'd be like, "No, get the fuck out of here."
When I used to wear my uniform and I clearly had a name tape that said U.S. Air Force, and people would be like, "How's the Army treating you?
How's dyslexia treating you, brother?"
How's the wrong fucking bridge treating you, brother?
Wait, is it called a uniform? What is it called?
It's a uniform, yeah.
Are the uniforms similar? The Air Force and Army are similar, right? Or is it Air Force and
they're
something
both
else?
OCPs,
They're
right?
both OCPs. They're the Occupational Combat Pattern.
And he ain't never missed an acronym.
I never miss an acronym.
That's
What
why
does
we keep
URL
it
versus IRL really mean then?
in real life versus
your
real life.
No, girl, it's like HTTPS, like the URL at the top of your browser.
I was gonna say that, but that didn't translate to letters, right?
True.
What does that stand for?
Actually, Mr. Cybersecurity, what does URL stand for? I would love to know.
Uniform Resource Locator.
Uniform Resource Locator? I'll never remember that.
Honest to God, they never really talk about the acronym for URL. They just kind of throw it in the list of acronyms in all of the courses we have.
What is it again?
They kind
it's
of
the
make
link.
They make the general assumption.
No,
that
what's
URL,
the acronym again?
Uniform Resource Locator.
Bye. I got too much shit to worry about today. Right. Uniform Resource Locator.
Should I change the name of the podcast?
Known as an address on the web is a reference to a resource that specifies its location on a computer network and a mechanism for retrieving it.
I'm in debt. You think I give a fuck about that?
So anyways, moving on.
I'm screaming.
So yeah, so we call them uniforms. They have their own meanings. Before the OCPs, we had ABUs, which was the Airman Battle Uniform. Oh. And then before that, they had what was it?
Don't ask me, brother. I'm only 10.
ABUs, BDUs. BDUs,
and you weren't you was in for that?
No,
okay.
They had had just transitioned to the ABUs when I got in, and BDUs were the ones. Those were the black boots and the green uniforms. Those were really cool. They got decommissioned, so that's why people change it. It's ever changing, so the military changes its uniform a lot of times.
Just kidding.
Yeah, just for fashion.
We can slay.
The military changes its uniform from time to time because they want to adapt to the landscape that they are in during combat or, in peacetime, depending on the operation. They're just usually trying to mimic the landscape that they're actually in and the environment that they're in.
So why the fuck were ABUs
camouflage.
blue?
Why were ABUs blue?
Yeah.
ABUs were not blue.
Sis, they're like bluish
what
gray.
What fucking uniform were you talking
Aren't they
about?
bluish
They're like
gray?
green,
I know you fucking lying.
Girl,
Aren't they bluish gray?
Girl, these things were fucking green.
Oh, shit. Why did I think they were blue?
Okay, give us a little bit of background for both of you. Josh, when did you join the military?
I joined the military in 2014.
Damn. What about you, Paige?
I think 2021.
Okay, first of all, this is a dumb civilian question. Joshua told me he always referred to you as Colucci.
Yeah.
Always.
What the fuck am I supposed to do as a civilian? Am I supposed to call you by your first name or your last name?
Brother, I'm Colucci.
Like, what's less weird?
Because I think if we just met each other, obviously I would say hi, I'm Paige.
Right.
But because of our circumstances, like I'm just Colucci. I think you can call me whatever you want, but yeah, we're always gonna be Ganesh.
The problem
and Colucci.
is like there's only so many people that like the names just fit so well. Like when we worked with the Diaz's, I didn't call them Diaz. I just called them by their specific
So is that why
name.
because we were just talking about like why do they historically do last names?
Yeah, why do they call people by their last names?
Is it because there's like too many Rebeccas or something?
That's kind of what I figured.
But
like
also
it was a
Colucci's more
way-
fun. Like
Yeah, it is way
I
more
have
fun.
nicknames like Coochie, Kalulu.
I
like
call you charcuterie.
charcuterie. Like, come on, it just be rolling off the tongue.
In the military, all personnel have title, and so they address each other by rank and last name as a form of respect. It is just a form of respect. Yes.
A form of
And
respect.
manners.
So it's disrespectful if you call somebody in the military by their
Yes.
first
Oh,
name.
100%.
Yes.
Oh my God, 100%.
Yes.
They would fucking
Let
cheer
you go up to your commander talking about, hey, Suzanne.
No,
Oh my
no.
God.
Yeah, y'all got so many rules. Is it hard to memorize all the rules?
Yeah, and I don't follow a fucking. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I follow every single one.
Oh my goodness, you're gonna make us cut
Sorry,
so
I'm
much
sorry, I'm
stuff out
sorry.
of here.
Let me think
No.
harder. Let me think harder.
No. It's okay. It's okay.
I don't think before I speak.
Yeah, OPSEC, and I'm allowed to say this, OPSEC is just Operation Security. It's literally just a kind of like a code of ethics in the military, especially with now after 1995 when the internet became a big thing. All of it is just for Operation Security in general, but OPSEC also tailors to actual like how you're meant to operate in a facility. So like if you have to work behind closed doors, who you can be talking to, making sure nobody's tailgating you behind those closed doors, like the doors that are meant to close from behind and not have access to unless you have a specific key or it's a key code or if it's like some kind of biometric scanner of some sort.
This is getting a
like,
little too techie for me.
Yeah, it's insane. So it just depends. And I think it's so funny. People forget about that. I think OPSEC,
I forget about. I feel like sometimes you get desensitized.
you get lost in it. I think it's hard. Like OPSEC is it's such a phrase that is used so commonly in the military, and I think that's their problem is that they use it so often and kind of shove it in everybody's face so often. Whereas they should kind of just get down to the root issue of like why Operation Security is needed in the first place. But like I hate saying that because I think having OPSEC in the first place is a good front to have or a good frontier to have like while trying to maintain like security standards in the military. Like that's not what we're talking about.
No, we got to get back to the basics.
We gotta get
to
back
be
to the
honest,
basics,
I don't
yeah.
know anything. You don't understand.
Okay, what you want to know, girl?
First of all, there's requirements for getting into the military, right? Or they just take anyone that's living and breathing?
No, hell no.
I didn't think so.
Because think about it, they're buying you, like you're their property, so they want to make sure that you're good to go before they fully commit to having you for 6 years. So I think what we should start with is we're in the Air Force, right?
Yeah.
But there's 3 different components of the Air Force. So there's the Air Force, which is like full time, right? That's federally funded.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the reserves, which you show up for duty once a month, so 1 weekend a month. That's federally funded as well,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And then we're in the Guard. So it's the same thing like the reserves. You show up once a month, you do your work once a month, but we're state and federally funded.
Oh.
There's those 3 different functions, which a lot of people don't realize is like when someone says they're in the reserves or guard, a lot of times people don't realize sometimes how much deeper of an iceberg that is because
I
they
had no
think
idea.
it's like a 1 weekend. I think you asked off camera one time, you asked what was drill. And drill,
I was gonna ask you that.
drill was literally, so the term drill Bree was asking about off camera was...
That's like training. Not like training,
It's
like
training.
conditioning.
It's
I guess.
training.
It's just, I don't know.
It's meant to be
the 2 days that we go.
It's meant to be. It's meant to be training so that you get caught up on all of your computer-based trainings. You get caught up on all of your medical and dental because you have to be considered
what?
something.
I thought this was like physical outdoor throwing tire
Sometimes
kind of
it is.
training
Sometimes,
and shit.
well, sometimes it is.
We're in
Sometimes.
the Air Force.
But it depends. It depends on the branch. Yeah.
oh my gosh.
But yeah, sometimes.
Oh, so back to the question, the requirements to join. So first you take your ASVAB, which is a test, which I thought was just going to be like, what's 1 + 1? No, bro. They were like, if your car breaks down and it's 97 degrees outside and you got to use one screwdriver because you only have a screwdriver, what you going to use to pop your trunk? I said, huh? What the fuck?
What?
Yes.
Is this like, is ASVAB for the whole military or is it just for the Air Force?
Yes,
okay.
no.
So it's like mechanical questions, like math, literature, and then
STEM.
what?
Science, technology, engineering, and math. They added it all in one test, and they grade and gauge how good you are at these based off these like cognitive and tactile questions. So it's literally not like a regular test. It's a
and I
very
didn't
interesting.
study, so I was like, what
And
the
I
fuck?
also didn't study. I did pretty good though. Although I don't want to say what my ASVAB score was.
Girl, mine
but
it's probably like 3.
but I did pretty good. It lays out your entire like what jobs are available to you.
Wait, how long is the test?
The test
I
can
don't
be
know, how
about like
smart are
2
you?
hours. Like it's like 90
2
it's,
hours?
It's like 90 minutes, like 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Not if you're super smart like me. And you take it in 5 minutes.
The hair talk is killing me.
It can be a long test. You could take it at a high school if they offer it, or that you take it at MEPS, which is the military processing center that like every military person goes through in order to join the military.
Wait, so after you take the ASVAB, let's say that you like passed or whatever the fuck. That
Okay,
you
all right.
did.
We'll take you to the process. Ready?
Yeah.
So you take your test. And then they score you, right? Then they give you a list of maybe like 5 or 6 jobs that you qualify for, right?
Oh.
So then I
Or
don't know.
more.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
how it works for every branch, but like at least for us, what your recruiter has you do is you rate the jobs in order from like what you would want the most to what you would want the least, and then whatever seating that they have available for that school first, they'll be like, okay, we're gonna put you in. Like, say a job is like engineering or a job is like cooking, and they have engineering first, but cooking was like your favorite job, then they'll put you in engineering.
And then they will assign you a basic training and tech school date with a recruiter. And then they will have you swear in. So you swear into the military, which is you raise your right hand and you
Pause,
swear.
though.
What?
Because before you can do all that, you didn't even tell her how you gotta get naked.
Oh, well, we
Get your
didn't get
booty hole looked at.
Stop.
I'm dead. God, strike me dead. I swear to fucking God. Bro, let's talk about it, because I've been dying to fucking talk about it.
Please tell me.
And it's actually kind of funny, because I feel like the same people have worked at MEPS for like years. So I won't be like, did you have that old Indian lady? And they're like, yeah, I had her. And I'm like, I had her too. But,
I had this old white dude fully grasp my balls.
Brother,
and then
what?
he made me bend over, and then he said cough.
Bend over!
And then he said cough. And I was like, okay.
But isn't that normal for men?
Yeah, I guess he just wanted me to cough to look at my asshole or something like that. I don't know.
He-
Sorry,
he
babe. I don't know if
freaky
you want
gal.
this on your podcast or not.
You need that like NSW warning or something like that.
No, this is literally IRL version of
yeah.
URL. Like,
Yeah.
They
So
don't
do you-
tell you this shit in the movies.
If you skittish, just know you get your asshole looked at, and they'd be like,
when you
spread
go
'em.
when you go into MEPS, they make you do like they make you basically get naked, and then you
No,
do this thing
no,
called the duck
I was
walk.
butt-ass
and
naked.
Did they make you
Wait,
guys do the duck walk?
Colucci
course.
tell us, because I need to hear the whole go.
Okay, so this I'm gonna take you right through. Y'all want to do it for real? This is how you do it. You take the test, pick the job. You go in, they suck your blood, bro. You got to do like a hearing
Correct.
test. Hey, I don't know if I'm fucking deaf or not. I could never hear
You
what
have
the
to
fuck
do
was
a
going
sight
on.
and hearing test.
Sight, yeah, they check your sight, they check your hearing, because think about it, like they're investing in you, so they have to make sure you're okay, right?
Yeah.
Then you got to sit in this cold ass room in your drawers, and they make you line up in like a line. And they'll have you do like a duck walk and just like all these movements. So basically they can see like how your body moves. So they can see if you have any, like, let's say you're lying about like you have to give them your medical history, right?
Right.
So let's say you broke your shoulder or something, and you're like, no, I didn't. And then you do like a duck walk naked, and they're like, why your shoulder look like that? It's not right. You know what I'm saying? They're basically just making sure that like, yo, if I'm buying you, literally, if I'm buying you and you're my property, yeah, we need to know that you're good, because obviously there's if you have medical problems, you can't join. Because if you can't, bitch, you got asthma. Why the fuck we gonna deploy you?
They used to ban people who were flat-footed.
They wouldn't want me. I tore my ACL like 3 times.
And you tore your ACL 3 times, yeah.
What was my bad to all the flat-footed people out there.
Was because of the boots and all of the PT and everything like that, and everything they have to be physically put through.
Wait, so they make all of you guys go in a room together?
Not together, no. Girls and boys.
Girls and boys separate. Yeah.
Then when you're in there naked,
though? Like, but you got all the girls naked.
Yeah. No, we're not naked yet. We're not naked yet. Okay. We're in like bras and underwear, but still, brother, I said, what the actual fuck? Because I don't even swim in a bathing suit. My body wasn't right yet.
Literally same, yeah.
My body wasn't right. I said, y'all, don't be judging, because this ain't my summer body.
Wait until basic training's over.
Right. But they give you like you know when you go to the gynecologist and they give you like that like little paper thing to like wear?
Yeah.
You're basically wearing that until they're like, all right, everybody get naked and start duck walking. You put that shit back on, and then they call you one by one into a room. Nobody told me about this part. This is the part where I was like, huh? So they call you into the room, and it's literally, bro, like a fucking movie. It's like sterile white walls, and it was like this old Indian lady, and she was like, okay, take off all your clothes. Bro, I was butt-ass naked, butt-ass fucking naked, yitties out, ass out, everything. And you're standing in front of her, bro, and she's like, turn, and you go, and she's like, turn, and they're looking at your entire body naked. When I tell you, bro, I was fighting for my fucking life. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
They're like sizing you up and down, like, nice.
Yeah. They're like, damn, she got no ass turn.
We're definitely clipping after that. That's funny.
Screaming. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. They don't put that in the movies, do they?
No.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know for somebody that might be wanting to like join
and not really feeling comfortable to do that. And I mean, honestly, there's a lot of not a lot of situations that will happen like that, but there's a lot of situations you might be put in where you're not getting full privacy in the military.
No, what the fuck? You got a basic training. You showering with 75 bitches naked.
50
And guess what? The gag is they be 10 shower rods. 3 of them bitches work. So get comfy, brother.
The gag is everyone was like, oh, you're going to like the dorms we went to, or in basic training, the barracks that we were at is like they were called Disneyland, the dorms.
You were at Disney?
Yeah, because
bitch, me too, actually.
Well, because they were like built up and nicer, but like we had like 20 showers, right, and only like 8 of them worked.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And we had 50 of us.
Yo, privacy doesn't exist. I will never forget, because I come from a hard life, so I'm like, this shit easy. As soon as they told me to take my goddamn clothes off, I was like, what are you talking about? I don't want to do this anymore. And bitches get real comfortable. My one friend, one day, she got out the shower, bruh, she was in front of the mirror, bent over, mind you, butt ass naked with her asshole out applying lotion. I said, bitch, I don't know what you do at home, but we don't do that shit here. Can you put some motherfucking clothes on? I was so upset because I'm coming out the shower talking about seeing her booty hole. And I was like, brother, it's fucking Sunday, the Lord's Day. Put your shit away, please.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm screaming. Okay.
Yeah.
So then after all that, after your test and all that stuff and all the things, they look at you naked. Then you go to basic training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is basic training like? Like, what do you guys actually do there?
So for the Air Force over the few years, it's changed.
Soft.
So it started out as like 6 and a half weeks,
brother.
and it became soft. And then it went from 6 and a half weeks to 8 weeks, 8.5 weeks. And then they just dropped down to 7 and a half weeks.
I heard they have
now.
iPads and shit now.
I heard that they have a lot of crazy technology now. We still had to use those dusty ass canteens and the web belt.
So you want to know about basic, like, how it is from like the day you get there till the day you leave?
Walk
like,
me through it. Yeah.
Okay, because I would hate when I would like YouTube this shit and people would talk for 45 minutes. I was like, shut up, bitch. Tell me what happened as soon as you got there.
Yeah,
blah,
give me
blah,
the
blah,
plot
blah.
points.
Okay, so this is what happened. Let's say you're going to basic training like fucking tomorrow, right?
Okay.
You get your little happy ass at the airport. Boop. You fly to Texas. Boop. Then when you get to the airport, there'll be like a little table with like basic training people, and then you like check in with them. They make you like sit on the floor until they have everybody. And
on
then,
the floor?
Yeah. And then when all of you guys are like there or whatever, the bus comes and it picks you up, right? So when the bus comes, it picks you up. You drive to basic, and then you get off the bus. And at least for me, like they didn't start yelling at us or anything. Blah 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 blah. You walk into like a little auditorium. They hand you what is it? Like not an MRI. I almost said an MRI. MRE, bitch.
MRE,
They
yeah.
hand you like an
MRE.
MRE, meal ready to
Those
eat.
meals,
ready to
yeah.
eat.
Period. I don't know my acronym or whatever. Yeah, they hand you like a little MRE. I think they hand you like a book bag with all your shit in it, so like a study guide, like pencils and shit like that. And then I think they hand you like shower flip flops and like a towel or whatever, blah, 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 blah. Basically just shit that you would need, right?
Yeah.
And then you sit in the auditorium and then they brief you and blah, 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 blah. And then when everything's over, they make you leave. Mind you, you have like your luggage on you. So if you go to basic, pack light, bitches never do that. At least the women, they never be packing light. They
Of
be
course
having
not.
these giant ass fucking, why, sis? They give you everything. Why did you bring your home to basic?
Yeah.
Anyway, then they like, so if the auditorium is like here, your dorms are like all the way over here, so that's when they start like rushing you. So it's so fucking funny. People will be like dropping shit because you have to carry what you brought.
Yep.
Then the book
Plus
bags,
the
and they're
stuff
like,
they gave you.
"Come on, trainees, get the." People are like, you know what I mean? It's like the Nicki Minaj thing where it's like, you know what I'm saying? So then you walk to your thing, and then that's when they start being annoying and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But basically, what your day to day with basic training will look like is. You'll wake up to and then boom, 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 wake up, blah, 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 right? So then you wake up. The first thing you do is PT in the morning. So it's
Okay.
like what, 5 o'clock?
Yeah, 5 in the morning. Yep.
Yeah, 5 in the morning.
You wake up at 5 or you start at 5?
No, baby, you start at
You
5.
start like
Ew.
5.
They come in and get your ass at 5.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Okay. Next.
So you'll go outside. You'll do like squadron PT. Then after PT, depending on the schedule, you might go straight to breakfast. If not, you'll go upstairs. You'll like
You
make
forgot
your
about
room.
the Airman's Creed in the morning, every morning, and then the Air Force.
I'm an American
and then
Airman.
followed
What the
by
hell
the
is a
Air Force
Airman?
song.
Okay.
What is that?
Bag it up, bag it up, bag it up.
Yeah.
Okay, they're going to come and get you for PT, right? You're going to go outside, and before you start, you got to do the Airman's Creed,
Yep.
which is basically like, yo, I'm an American Airman. I'm a warrior. It's a whole poem. It's very important.
It's very important.
It's history.
It's history. Yeah.
Whatever. You got to say that,
Yeah.
John, and then
Wait,
what?
does anybody know it?
No, this shit is long as fuck.
I know it. I am an American Airman. My mission is to fly, fight, and win. I am faithful to a proud heritage, a tradition of honor, and a legacy of valor.
I am an American Airman.
Guardian of freedom and justice, my nation's sword and shield, its century and avenger. I defend my country with my life.
Okay, period.
I'm an American Airman, wingman, leader,
Warrior.
warrior. I will never leave an airman behind. I will never falter, and I will not fail. And then we would just yell it.
Yeah. What comes after that? The Pledge of Allegiance to the flag?
And then they say and now followed by the Air Force song.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder.
Yeah.
I know that one.
So we used to do that. I think
That song
every
literally
morning.
sounds like World War II propaganda.
We used to do
if you
that
listen
every
to it.
morning for just about 2 months.
That's why you know it.
That's why I know it.
you don't know
Okay,
it?
he went a long time
Shut
before me, and I don't
up,
remember these
shut
shit. Anyway, we do that. Boring. Then we just do
my
our
goodness.
stupid PT. If you're curious, look it up. You could do it at home because they literally have videos about it. And then, like I said, depending on the schedule, you might go straight to breakfast, or you might go upstairs and like take a shower first, right? And then basically your day is like. You might have some downtime like in your dorm where you're literally at the end of basic training you have to take a big test. So whenever you have free time, you're basically supposed to be studying for your test, right?
Studying in the big guide.
But if not, like during the day, you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and in between that, you'll have classes. So where they teach you shit about the Air Force.
They teach you like kind of world history, Air Force history, military history.
Yeah.
They teach you customs and courtesies. They teach you finance. They give you a finance card.
Who
I
they taught
got
you
a question.
finance?
Are the hospital corner things real?
Yeah, what the
Yes.
fuck? Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
45-degree hospital corners.
Why?
Just, I don't know, discipline.
It taught discipline and attention
I'm
to detail.
telling you, them sheets be looking fucking crisp, though.
and they used to rip. We did 4-hour bed drills one time. My
Are you
my
out of your
unit.
fucking mind?
50 people. We had to sit there and make beds for 4 hours.
Because y'all be
Ew.
dumb. And you know what the gag is? I was like, I'm just going to sleep on top of my
Yeah.
sheets. And every morning, my MTI fucking loved him. But he would come in and he'd be like, girl, get your fucking sheets off your bed right now.
Really?
He would make us put our sheets
Yep.
on top of our lockers because we were trying to be slick and sleep on them bitches.
Damn.
And one time we did something, we were told of something we did wrong to our drill instructor, and he made us pack up all our shit in our wall lockers and put it in our duffel bags. And those bitches full with all of our clothing.
Oh my
and our
God.
civilian clothing were like 50 to 60 pounds.
I forgot about those
And then he
bags.
made us put it on our back, all over our shoulders, and just stand and stare at our wall lockers for over 2 hours.
Really?
Because he
That's
was,
some shit your mom would do when you were a kid.
It was like 1.5 to 2 hours, yeah. And he was like, I just want to know if you guys even really want to be here.
Do they make you guys? That's wild. Do
That's
they make you
hilarious.
guys actually like roll your clothes?
Yes,
Yes.
I was
Okay,
just
I was
forgot
wondering
about
if that was a real thing or not because
Yeah.
I was taught how to roll my clothes to like pack better in a
Yeah.
suitcase, but I didn't know if that was actually a military thing
No,
or
it
somebody
is.
just named it that.
Nope.
for-
Nope.
It's part of your downtime. So yeah,
Yep.
you have to roll your clothes every night when you go to sleep. You have to put your shoes on your bed like a certain way in a certain order. And let me tell you what, when I was a kid, I thought OCD was like, you know, these glasses got to be this certain way or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, the fucking military gave me horrible
Yeah.
OCD.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Because-
talking about when you before you go to bed, you got to have your uniform a certain
Yep,
way, right?
yep.
And you got to have your ass.
You had to have your boots put under your bed.
Yeah, a certain way. But hold on, because
Yeah.
I'm not finished. That's one part of the OCD,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I'm fucking mentally ill, and I was like, they not gonna catch me slipping. Fuck them. They never gonna catch me slipping because I'm a thug, right? No, the fuck I'm not. Before I would go, like this is when I started to get insane. I knew my shit would have to be right? Like my
Yeah.
uniform on my
Yeah.
locker. You have to be in bed by 9. Of course, you can get up to go piss and whatever, but sometimes
Yeah.
they'll sneak in and I'll write your ass up if
Yep,
you're not in,
yep. And
in
then
bed, right?
and then they would call you and pull you aside in the day room and be like trainee so and so, and they'd be like,
Yeah.
come here.
But this is how my anxiety and my OCD got so bad because I knew that they would do that. So like I'm supposed to be in bed. I'm like, fuck, I gotta get up and check my uniform. All right, is it good? All right, it's good. Get back in bed and I'm like, fuck, I don't think I checked this part. And I would get up like 4 times and like that's how my OCD got so bad because
Shut
I was
up.
like, they're never gonna catch me slipping. They're never gonna catch me slipping. And I would constantly check, recheck, blah blah. And I do shit like that now too.
And keep in mind, the reason we were so scared is because you just wanted to get through basic training because they just made that
Who's
shit
scared?
like a nightmare.
Who was scared?
Eh,
Not I.
But-
I mean, girl, you
but-
were checking your
no,
uniform 4
But I
times.
wasn't-
a day.
it wasn't because I was scared. It was because I'll be
there was
damned if
but
they
there
get
was
me for something
but there was
stupid.
Yeah.
that was that, and there was also like the chance you could get recycled.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah,
Because
What the
and-
fuck does that mean?
Being recycled
Girl.
means they put you back an entire week or 2 weeks.
So you have to stay there
So
longer.
you have to stay there longer.
Like if you don't
Some-
pass PT test or something, you get recycled.
Some people stayed in basic training for over a year.
A year?
Because-
A year?
Because
I would-
for a couple reasons.
That's
one
wild.
because of med hold, and 2 because
Oh,
they
yeah,
were
that's
just
different.
genuinely getting recycled so much. But I think there's like a rule in place where
You probably get kicked out. I feel like
I think there's like a portion where they just kick you out and then they say you just have to retry at another time or just join another branch. But there were people, I think more so in the med hold because they had medical issues, they were held back in basic training. But when they get held back in med hold, they don't finish out their military like career through that. They still get paid, but at a different rate. And then they come back in the week they left. So if you got put in med hold in week 2,
Brother, you gotta do
and then you
all
had to
of
get
them.
sent, and then you were stuck in med hold for like 9 months. You came back in week 2.
Ew.
And then you had to
Yeah,
still
it
finish
was
all the way
right.
up until week 8. Well, now it's there's only 7.5 weeks in basic training, but yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it
Oh
was
my
fucking
God.
nutty. Basic training was nutty.
I forgot one of my favorite parts about basic training is they would take you out. Part of the day is they would take you out and they would teach you how to like do drill and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that was like really fun. But
Yeah.
sometimes like the MTIs would have people watch them. So like they would be getting graded, but you have to stand there like this and like the sun's in your eyes and you can't see shit. And you're like, please, I just had to smash my forehead.
it's like please acknowledge the flight and make us do a right face so that the
Yes.
sun is not in our eyes. We would be like, sir, trainee Ganesh reports is ordered. And they'd be like, what is it, trainee Ganesh? And I'd be like, oh, the sun is in our eye. May we do a right
They'd be like,
face?
girl, shut the fuck up.
and they'd be like, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard, trainee Ganesh. Shut up! Like,
Actually, and they
damn.
actually yell at you guys.
Yeah.
Like, they're actually,
Yeah,
like,
they
at
yell
the
at
top
you,
of their
but
lungs.
now it's
They
like
yell.
like they can't curse at you. They
they're
can't
not
like
allowed to curse anymore.
What?
Because
they be like this, but they can't like kiss you on the lips or whatever. No.
they well. So
Girl.
a couple reasons. Well, for starters, there was a lot of suicide issues that was happening at basic
I was
training.
gonna ask you about that, guys, later, but
That was happening a lot at basic training, and they were talking about how the language barrier of like people being talked to a certain way might cause them to have behavior like that.
That's
And
why you guys were saying
and
soft.
they also tried to do a self-reflection in their own like mental health checks when they were getting people in, but you know, it's hard because some people lie so well that they might not get away with it. Yeah, it's they figured they had to check back in their own processes. And then also there was a huge scandal in the Air Force basic training that happened back in like 2009, 2010, where there was like a huge scandal where like some of the military instructors were like having very inappropriate relationships with like the trainees, and like it was bad. And so they
talk
had to,
about a freaking
so
power trip.
And it was like
Ew.
it was a very,
but they're very good now. Like that's why we have the wingman concept. Like
now.
in basic training, you can't go anywhere without another airman with you for like safety
they
reasons
have the
and stuff
wingman
like that.
concept for the safety reasons.
It's like when girls go to the bathroom. Same shit.
Literally.
That's what I said. The privacy thing.
It's like, come on, bestie.
It's, when I mentioned the privacy thing earlier, it sucks, but it's also like kind of a great precaution because I'd much rather have like be someone's wingman than like think that like they could do something to cause harm to themselves. And it sucks when you're in a position where people are telling you that they might cause harm to themselves in that situation. So yeah, they were really like they were really getting around back in like 2010, 2009, 2009.
That's crazy that it was literally just like 2010.
Yeah,
like, that's so recent.
And it definitely was recent, and the military definitely restructured a lot. But it's a lot better now, like you said. Like it's so much better, and they restructured it. They have a wingman concept. Is it only better in basic training, or is it like
what do you
better
mean?
as a whole?
What I want to preface and say is like the Air Force is the most progressive branch. So
for sure.
We're speaking Air Force, and like, yeah, bro, the other branches might still be really fucking bad, but the Air Force is like not on my watch.
Yeah, the Air Force is definitely
sorry.
The Air Force is definitely like very progressive, but there's still so much that lies under fault, and like they are very bureaucratic. So like
go to shit ghetto, just say it.
So like one of the biggest things I always said about them, like when I was in and like while I was getting out, was like it was very much so contradictory to like welcome innovation and say they were so accepting of innovation and people who like want to take charge, want to take lead, want to do this, want to do that, but then like you get in and any decision made, it's like nope, like you don't get to have a say in anything.
Well, duh, bro, you're a fucking airman,
you know. But even when you were a sergeant.
Why'd you guys pick the Air Force?
I picked it because I knew somebody in the Air Force.
Oh.
So they kind of just like slid me a recruiter because their Air Force recruiters are bougie and they're like, girl, you need me. I don't need you. But the other branches are like, girl, we need you. You know what I'm saying?
I had like my boss that I was working for at my civilian job at the time. He was in the Air Force and he was like, oh yeah, if you want to join the military, like this would probably be the branch you want to join. And my dad was in the Navy, and I was like, I don't really want to do what he did, and because I don't want to like do the same things he did in life. And
yeah, no nepotism for you.
Yeah, well that and like
I just the same for myself.
I just didn't like
the self-awareness.
I didn't want to like do what I didn't want to live his legacy. Like his legacy was his legacy, but I didn't want to like do and mimic that same thing. So he was in the Navy, and then I didn't really know anyone else in other branches, but I already heard so many negative things about the Army and the Marines like through my whole life and through high school. And so I was like, no, all right, I'll just do Air Force because why not? And like all of the stuff that the Air Force offered was so synonymous to like what the real, like, I don't want to say real military, but like what other military branches offered. If I wanted to do combat, if I wanted to be a mechanic, if I wanted to be into computers, if I wanted to be,
what you could say is it translates the best to civilian life.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That was anytime you take like classes or whatever, when you join the Air Force, every class that you take gets like you get points that are put on a CCAF, which is basically like
an Air Force Associate's degree, which is what I have, and I tell you about all the time. Yeah, I have my Air Force Associate's
degree. So it translates.
So it's really cool.
The Air Force translates the best, in my opinion, to civilian life.
Yeah.
Although they're not perfect, they are the most progressive.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of opportunities with the Air Force, and who in this day and age, baby, let's be for real. We're joining the military because who the fuck paying for school? Who doing all that? You know what I'm saying?
Why you guys joined in the first place?
Yeah,
my first place was school. Yeah, I think to answer the question, I had no idea how I was going to afford college. Both high schools I went to granted me no scholarship opportunities by any means. So I was like, shit.
Was that their fault or because you missing some chromosomes?
I was missing some chromosomes.
How much cerebral fluid in the dumb
brain was a little too smooth. I wasn't seeing things right. No. I kept hearing colors.
Hearing colors is fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, no, I was joking. But yeah, so I needed it for college, and like that was definitely going to help me get into it. And the military had a lot of really great benefits toward college. There's a lot of really great benefits that came out of going into the military, and it was a very good way to get paid, like what seemed like the most money I'd ever seen in my entire life, because like my family was so poor. I was like, all right, this is like the most money I've ever seen in my entire life, and
if you're full time,
well, especially if you're full time. But like when I was going to basic training, and like I got like almost close to $5,000 for going to basic training.
You're not
I was like, whoa,
paying for anything when you're down there. Like they're feeding you, they're housing you,
they're housing you, they're giving you your uniform, so you don't have to pay for your uniforms right away.
That's a lie. But that shit costs $300. It comes out of your first check.
It comes out of your check.
Your uniform and your book bag.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because who told y'all to buy me all that shit?
The Eagle Pay
Ain't
card.
this my fucking tax money?
I got a book bag. I can bring it myself. Don't worry about me.
That's right. I forgot about that.
And a goddamn
that was like
pencil.
the first paycheck they said that after they set you up at finance.
They brief you and they're like, hey guys, your check's actually going to be a little short. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck?
They said next month or the next day, payday, go
Then
get your real
full.
paycheck. Yeah, I remember that.
Mind you, it's like $4.
Right.
That's wild. Oh my God. So you both joined because you wanted to go to school.
Yeah.
I joined for school, and also I needed like stability. Like I didn't have parents. I was like homeless. So it was
Damn, girl.
well, like borderline.
Yeah.
Like sleeping in a car, which is like any other country's homeless dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Damn. I'm
No,
sorry.
seriously though, I talk to my friend about that all the time because he lives in Afghanistan right now, and he's like, it's so funny. Americans are like, oh my God, I'm homeless. I'm sleeping in my car, and he was like, in Afghanistan, the dream is just to have a fucking car. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's the same way sometimes in some portions of America too, because some of the homeless are just out in the streets in the city areas too.
Baby girl, I live in the city.
You live in Philly, I know.
I went to Wawa the other day. This crackhead was in pajamas, barefooted, and I was like, "Oh my God, I would never walk on the streets raw like that."
Yeah.
His feet were busted, and that's scary to do that in this city because no funny shit, you can step on a crack needle and get AIDS. Like, then it's over for you, bro.
Yeah.
I be nervous in fucking chanclas. I'm not no funny shit. I'm
No,
dead
you're
ass
right
serious.
though.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And there's people like sticking people. Have you been hearing about that? I mean, we don't need to talk about that in this podcast.
The fuck are you talking
Never
about?
mind. We'll talk about it off the camera.
Because I'll walk around with a bat, bitch, with nails in it. No, seriously, because a cracker will just be like, and like bite you. You know what I'm saying? And then what?
It's this technique people are like.
Technique?
Yeah, they have needles that have like viruses, like AIDS and stuff like that,
fucking
and like
kidding me right now?
hepatitis, and they'll like incidentally bump into you and like stab you, but like you
That's
can't feel it
sick as
because it's like a
fuck.
butterfly needle.
That's like
And
psychopathic.
they're like infecting people. Yeah.
What the fuck is the incentive? Just they're sick in the head?
Yeah, they're just sick in
Good
the
thing
head.
the military gives you
Or it's just like a
75,000 hepatitis
I
shots.
know,
I
that's-
feel like
well,
every
that's
day I'm getting a
why.
hepatitis
Oh my
That's
shot.
God.
why.
Also, didn't you guys all have to get the COVID vaccine? Like against
Yeah,
your
you
will?
were forced to. Yeah, but there was two exceptions: religious and pregnancy.
Yeah, some people got waivers so they didn't have to. But now that's no longer a thing.
Yeah.
But I just think like whether you're for it or against it, when you go to basic training, you're getting a fuck ton of vaccines. So
Yeah.
guess what? As soon as you sign that contract, you no longer have free will. So
Yep.
don't fucking
Yep.
cry about a COVID vaccine or any other vaccine.
Remember
did
the
that, like-
assembly line?
Yeah,
of-
you literally walk in an assembly line like this, and there's like 4 people on either side of you, and they're like next, and you walk in, they go, and
Yeah.
they shoot you
And
in the
they just
arm,
start
with, like
injecting
4
you with-
needles at a time.
I feel like we only got into day 2 of basic training.
That
Girl,
was like
medical
week 1
was
of
the
basic training.
scariest part
that
of
was
basic
like
training.
week 1
Okay,
or
wait,
2 of
tell me
basic
about
training.
that.
Let you queef in that building, and they're like, get the fuck out. Give me your 6 341s. No, they don't play no
341s.
shit. Medical
Wait, what is
building, the medical building, 341 is just a stupid ass little paper that would be like, you're in trouble.
Like a write-up.
I never got a 341 because I'm that
and you would get
bitch.
it pulled, and you would
Yeah.
have 2, and if they pulled it, if you had none, then you were in trouble. Like they had to be visible at all times.
Yeah, fucking.
Damn. Wait, so walk me
Yeah.
through the medical stuff.
What about it?
Because you said that's scary. You said that
Oh,
was like
yeah,
the
yeah,
scariest
Just the
thing.
building was scary because like every once in a while you have to go there for like immunizations or whatever, and it was just scary because like that's where they're very very strict. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like let's say you're drilling or something, you can sneeze and your MTI might not hear you, but when you're in the medical building, bitch, you better be on your best motherfucking behavior. And they were the type of people where it's like, you know, when your parents are like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like kind of how they talk
That's
to you.
exactly how
They'd
they
be
would
very
talk to you.
calm and they'd be like,
They had
you need to shut the fuck up before I rock
no
your shit.
emotion.
They wouldn't say
no
that
soul.
obviously, but
they like they understood that you were in basic training, but they like literally had no character to them. They were an NPC.
Yeah, they were scary because they were very strict, but they were calm.
Yeah.
Like the MTIs are supposed to yell at you, but they're just like, don't play that shit.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they have eyes everywhere. Like, they will snitch on you. Like, you could get a 3. Like, you would literally think you had sanctuary from your get 341 getting pulled from a fucking MTI. Nope, bitch, wrong. You would literally go to medical, and then you would say a curse word. And
who the fuck would go to medical and say curse word?
And, well, you
deserve to get your shit pulled.
If you were chopping it up with the person for medical, and the person for medical would be like, 341. And you'd be like, what?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to let you get away with that. I got to give it to your MTI now. And it's like, what?
Brother, I thought we were friends.
Literally,
Yeah,
I went
that's a
like this and you went like
backstabbing
that.
move.
No, you know what was the most like mentally draining is like when your MTI is being nice to you or whatever and you accidentally say like, okay. And then they're like, okay.
Where was your reporting statement?
No. They'll be like, okay. And you'll be like, huh? And they'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, yes, sir. And you're like, oh shit, you right.
Shit, I forgot to say that.
Yeah. Wait, so you actually have to address, how do you have to address people?
Yes, ma'am, or sir.
No, you have to.
Everyone.
You don't always have to use a reporting statement.
In basic training, you always had to use a reporting statement.
Maybe I lied. You have to say like,
sir or ma'am.
what rank is Bree? Master Sergeant Bree? No, I lied. Damn, bitch, I don't even know a reporting statement. That was a fucking chow runner.
No, all right. So if you wanted to talk to a sergeant, so if they are an E5 or above, you are a staff sergeant, technical sergeant, master sergeant, senior master sergeant, and then chief master sergeant. And then you would have, if they were like a technical sergeant, you could, in basic training, they made you say staff sergeant or technical
that shit was
sergeant.
annoying.
And that was so annoying because you could literally, as soon as you got out of basic training and went into tech school, they would literally call each other sergeant. Or like they like even master sergeants, they would literally just call them sergeants.
But they want you to learn the rank. That's
but
why
they want you to learn the rank, so they would be like, you would have to say staff sergeant Lynch, or you would have to say technical sergeant Lynch or master sergeant Lynch. And then if you wanted to do a reporting statement, you wouldn't say it like that. You wouldn't even address their rank. You would just say sir or ma'am. So sir, trainee.
She's a ma'am.
Go off.
Or ma'am, sorry. Ma'am, trainee Ganesh reports as ordered. And then they would go proceed or go on. Yeah, what's up?
Like give you acknowledgement to speak or permission to
and literally
speak.
Sometimes they would be so rude about it. They'd be like, yeah, what is it?
Yeah, they're still like that now. My biggest pet peeve is like, say Joe Byron himself is like, yo, I need you to give this message or this paper to Master Sergeant Bree, right?
Yeah.
Bro, you be having a fucking conversation with another Master Sergeant about the dumbest fucking thing. You'd be like, and then on the weekend, I took my kids to the beach. Girl, it was hot. I don't even know why I was at the beach, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there like shaking, like, but I can't interrupt you. And they see you there waiting, but they don't fucking acknowledge you. They be talking for like 45 minutes to be like, anyway, girl, I'm about to, what you want, Kaluchi? You know what I'm saying?
God forbid you interrupt the conversation.
You can't interrupt them, bro. That shit is so annoying.
So if it's two master sergeants, you can't interrupt them?
It's just any like higher rank.
It's just a higher rank. Like if you're seeing like a colonel, even a colonel talking to a technical sergeant.
Well, I would never go to a colonel.
Shut up. If you saw a colonel, or if you saw like a lieutenant colonel, or even like, you know, a captain, a lieutenant, whomever, if they were talking or having a serious conversation with someone,
no, like, they don't even be having serious conversations. You just dumb shit.
You just can't interrupt the conversation.
And they see you, and they'll literally watch you just stare at them like for 10 minutes, like.
Yeah.
And they don't give a fuck. I hate that shit.
You can't interrupt the conversation. You have to be addressed.
I be wanting to freak the fuck out.
You have to be addressed. Like, and then literally in basic training, like, it's a little more lenient on the outside of basic training, but in basic training, they could be chopping it up about the dumbest things, and then you would walk up to them, and they would be like, speak trainee. And I'm like, oh my God.
It's like important. It's like, Jessica actually fell down the stairs and broke her ankle. And you're just sitting there like a fucking kumquat.
Even if someone was like fainting on the ground or something like that, we had someone faint on the ground.
No way. You should have just interrupted them.
And I was like,
that's on y'all then.
Sir, trainee Ganesh reports his order. They go, proceed. And I'd be like, trainee so-and-so, they actually fainted on the ground, and then they go, oh my God, why didn't you tell us sooner? And then they would be running.
Because y'all was talking about some stupid shit.
Wait. I have a weird, not like a weird question. You know how in the movies, like every time, I guess an airman or a soldier or somebody would see a person of like a higher rank, do they actually have to like stop and salute the person?
Oh,
that's
well,
in all military.
So
for real.
So you never salute indoors unless you're instructed to salute indoors, but you only salute. So you only salute outdoors.
for real.
You only salute outdoors. You only salute indoors if given like the guidance to. But if like someone of like rank, like a colonel rank, or like if they're an officer, and they're an officer of high importance, walks through the door, then everybody has to say room attention, and everybody has to come to attention, like stand up and come to attention in the door. So they usually just say like room attention, and that's literally how you would get people to come to attention for respect of the commander or the officer coming in if they were like an important official.
What if I'm like a colonel and I just gotta go to the bathroom?
I mean that's their reality most of the time. They're just like annoyed and they're like, as you were, like
they'll literally be like, as you were.
Or if they work in the building, like we worked full time with like our commanders and stuff, like because you work there full time and they're constantly coming in and out, you don't have to call the room to attention. But say it's like a commander from like another squadron or something, then you'll do it.
Yeah, you usually will do it. If it's our commander, if we
no
see
matter
them
what,
so
not
often,
even just in basic training, like all the time.
If you're walking down the street in uniform and you salute everybody,
that's
strangers.
The customs and courtesies.
I didn't know that we had to salute other branches. Like one time we were in training in Virginia, and we got in so much trouble because there was like a bunch of us, and there was like a Navy, but their rank, to be fair, their ranks look different. So if you don't know, sometimes, a colonel is a colonel. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a freaking bird. But you have to salute other ranks too. It's really easy. You just walk by and you go like this, and then they do it and they drop it and you do it too. I didn't know that at the gate security forces they also have to salute. So when you go through the gate, they check your ID, and I didn't know that they salute officers in the car, and they do that shit hard as fuck. They be like, I'm like, damn, what the fuck? I make fun of them every time.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Yeah, they make that shit crisp as fuck.
That shit would be sharp as hell. Yeah. They have to. Yeah, you have to.
That's wild. Wait, what's another what's something like super unexpected that you figured out when you joined the military?
It's ghetto. Know? You think that because you're joining the military, obviously there's a respect factor, right?
There is a huge respect factor,
you think that you would think that everybody in the military is like a good person. They want to fight for their country. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
There are so many fucking garbage bags that are in the military.
There are a lot of bad people
terrible
in the military.
human beings that are protected because what are they gonna do? Kick them out of the military? Like no, you know what I mean? Unless they're like killing somebody.
And even if like our people hear this through the grapevine, I don't care. Like we probably shouldn't be talking about this, but like there are some
watch
bad
what you
people.
say because I worked there.
There are some bad people that have been in the squadrons that I have worked with.
Ooh, I think I heard that little story one time.
There's a lot of stories.
And there's a lot of stories. And like they go above and beyond to protect certain people, but they'll get rid of the ones, and not for nothing, the ones who got out, like did some bad things, but like the ones who didn't, this is where the bureaucracy comes in, where like they only go by one person saying something and go with that, and then like they just don't care, and they're like, okay, this is the final decision, no other things we want to hear about, nothing else, like we don't care about any other outside opinion.
It's easier to keep them than to replace them.
It's just easier to keep them to replace them.
So they don't care. Leadership across the board is just passive in every branch.
And if you're in a big leadership position, and I was only just speaking on an NCO level, because you already know what I'm talking about in the NCO level, but like in the officer level, oh my God. To get a bad officer out sometimes.
To get a fucking master sergeant that doesn't do shit out.
Oh my goodness.
So it's like hard to get out of the military. Not out of the military, like not to get out, but like to be removed from the military against your will.
Yes and no.
Yes and no, but also we're talking about
talking about getting rid of people that do nothing.
Yeah, but also we're in the Guard, so full-time positions are more sparse. Okay, right? Yeah. Because the funding isn't always there. So once they kind of like get somebody in that position, unless they die or like murder somebody, like they're not fucking leaving unless they choose to leave.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's why it's easier to like keep these people than to replace these people. You get what I'm trying to say? And that's like the toxic aspect for us. That's why like my experience might be different than like an active duty person's experience in a good and in a bad way, because let's say like I've been in the Guard for like 10 years now, basically he's like a brother to me, you know what I mean? Like we see each other, we've seen each other once a month for like 10 years, but also like we get to go home, so we could hang out outside of office hours, like you get what I'm saying? We have more time to build a relationship. But an active duty person, like let's say I join and like I have a new supervisor, but he's about to get out in like 2 months, I could be going through it and go to my supervisor, he don't give a fuck because he's already burnt out, he's like, fuck you, I'm getting out in 2 months. But now I'm active duty, so I'm stuck on the base, I don't have a car, there's nowhere for me to go, I don't have resources, I don't get to just go home, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? It was like I was a new, I was only an NCO, which is a non-commissioned officer, like a new supervisor within the first couple of years that we met. And like you were lower ranking than me, and like they really just did not, like when we became friends, they had to make the whole friendship weird, and not even like the friendship but the work relationship weird, because they made it feel like very like perceived and very like, why are they talking so much?
Yeah.
Like, and
What?
that made me feel like very uncomfortable, because I was like,
wait, I'm sure I know the answer to this, but is there
none
like
of your business?
Yeah, is there like any fraternization stuff within the military?
No, like
No.
there is, but there isn't. Like there is like you're not
I'm surprised
supposed
they
to
don't
be
got rules
dating.
for that.
You're not supposed to be dating officers if you are enlisted, and vice versa, unless you were already previously dating when both were enlisted, or before one had enlisted if they were never enlisted in the first place.
Can you date if you're in different squadrons or no?
You can
That's
date if you're in
haram.
different squadrons. You can date if you're in different squadrons, but you can't date if you're 2 tiers in separate rankings.
Wait, that's another question that I had, because you brought up marriage. I
Bitch,
feel like this is about to
I
get
was the one that got married.
I was about to say, I feel like this is about to get a little juicy. How come service members in the military are always getting married?
Because you get
so
money
quickly?
for it. You get money
money.
for it. You get benefits.
Get a lot of money for being married and then having
Like
kids.
how much more money? Like a percentage?
All right, so I'll tell you this. And it's different because my ex was in the reserves or whatever, so we weren't like full time. But basically, like if you go into the military and you have like a house or you have a spouse or like a kid or something, they give you a little extra little something because the pay is not that fucking good,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So they give you a little something because they're like, shit, he got a little Billy at home, he got to take care of. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you get married, they give you money. So I think when my ex and I had gotten married, I think he was getting like an extra $1,000 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would split that.
Because you have a dependent now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, so is it just the man that gets?
It's whoever the service member is.
Yeah, whoever the
They're
service
getting
member is.
paid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if I get in and
then if
I
two
marry
servi-
you or
yep.
Ganesh, they're gonna
and then you
give
get
me
you get an even larger stipend if you and another service member are together.
What?
essentially.
Really?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Anybody want to get
you
married?
and
When my
the other
divorce
service-
goes through, anybody won't get married.
Yeah.
It's like I'll never get married again.
That's
Shit is
wild.
ghetto.
Yeah. It's
Wait,
insane.
so you said that if you and another service member, but how is it different if you and your ex were both in the military, but one was in the reserves? What do you mean by that? Like, how does that?
Because he was in reserves, like he was on active orders while he was being trained.
Okay.
So we only got the money while he was
Yeah.
on active orders.
Oh, so if
Yeah.
you married somebody that was also in the guard, would that work or no?
If they're getting trained, yes.
Yeah.
Like if they're at basic or something, or if they're on some kind
if
of
they're on full-time,
contingency
yeah.
order, or if they're AGR, which is full time, full time guard, then
Yeah.
they get the money. But otherwise, no. And some active duty people do it too, because like when you're, I think up until like senior airman, you have to be in the dorms.
Yeah.
So some people get married to like get off base, like to get out of the dorms
Yep.
Oh,
and get
shit.
extra money. Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, what are the dorms like? What do you mean? Like actual like dorm?
Yeah, just regular
so-
like college dorms.
Yeah, most if not all military bases have like dorms, so that like all the people coming from basic training, they
Y'all
don't get to
even
just
get
go
your own
home
room?
They do.
Some people
of them
do.
some of them are doubled, but they do. You usually get your own like facility to live
Yeah.
in, but it's
Do you
literally
get
like
to,
a
like,
1
pick
bedroom
who
apartment.
you room with?
No,
No.
never.
Y'all don't get to pick
Never.
anything, huh?
You don't get to pick anything. No.
You get to, like,
sign
choose-
your life away on
You
a
get a
contract.
dream sheet of the bases you would like to go, and then they'll give you a base that you didn't even put on the sheet.
That was my biggest fear for active duty is I'd be like, Italy, and they'd be like, Ohio. And I'd be like, no, it's not even real.
Damn. No, it's not even real.
Yeah.
So you don't even get to like pick like where you're freaking stationed, where you go. Nothing.
No. Actually,
Nope.
I think if you're like active duty or something, when you PCS, right?
Once you PCS for the first time.
Yeah, so say your first.
What is that?
PCS is when you like go to another
Permanent
duty
change
station.
of station. So if you go from
And
one
here he
duty
go with the
station,
acronyms.
The
if you go
acronyms.
from one duty station to another, you're PCSing.
So you just signed up. They send
But
you
they
to
make you do
Ohio. No, let me tell you. You
Okay.
first sign up. They send you to Ohio. You're like, fuck. I'm in Ohio. You stay there for like 2 years, right? And then now it's time for you to change your duty station. So you're like, okay, can I please go to Italy? And they'll be like, okay, you can go to Italy.
Damn. That's
Yep.
wild.
Yep.
Bree's about to join the Air Force.
No, not me. Could never be me. So, I have another kind of pivoting question for you
Yeah.
guys. Do you think that the military is portrayed accurately through the media, like the movies and TV shows and shit that we all see. That's the only, like, y'all have to understand, if you don't have somebody in the military that's like close to you or a family member, you don't know shit. My grandpa was like drafted for 2 years, I think, in the Army. Isn't that right? Isn't that what he told you?
Yeah.
Like 2 years in the Army or something. I don't even know where the hell he went.
I think he had a few good years in the Army.
Do you know where he went?
Well, I believe he was in Vietnam.
Oh my God.
I think we talked about him having experienced something with Agent Orange, but
oh my
anyways,
God, that's
not
terrible.
me not knowing that.
But anyways,
So do you guys feel like this is what, like, obviously dumb civilian, I don't know shit. Do you guys feel like the military is actually portrayed accurately?
No. I mean, there's some portions of it, yes, but there's also another portion of it I understand why it's not,
because it's boring.
Well, also let me
it's
speak for the
actually-
movie industry. We don't know shit. Like, we actually, in the movie industry, let me tell you, when we have people that are handling weapons that are supposed to be military people, they will hire ex-military people to do that are not like stuntmen and women and stuff like that, and they integrate them in with us so that they can teach us what the hell to do so we don't look stupid. I'm sure we still look stupid on screen because we probably don't do everything right.
And they never have the uniforms right. Y'all be
Yeah, they never have the
That's
uniforms
actually
right.
a technicality. We're not allowed to have everything actually the same
Really?
and proper because I think it's like a legal thing.
Oh,
it's probably in
is.
you guys'
Just
book.
like you
Which is
couldn't
so
wear.
funny because the Department of Defense pays the movie industry. So like,
What?
Yeah, you didn't
What?
know that?
How the hell would I know that?
Oh, wow.
I'm not on that side of the books.
Yeah.
I'm on screen.
Yeah, that's actually a fact. The Department of
what?
Defense pays the movie industry to portray the military in only the most positive
positive way.
Yeah, like in the
no way.
They
That's
can
literally
only
propaganda,
They
bro.
can only yes, that is the definition of
But you
propaganda.
got to think about this too. Nobody's making a movie about everyday military life. That shit
correct.
is boring.
The everyday military life can be boring, especially when it comes to a lot of the strategic planning of like certain things and certain operations.
like IPR
Like a lot of it is literally logistics, like laying out a plan before we execute a plan executed, amazing. Now we go back to the drawing board for the next thing, for the next mission or the next, whatever
and also,
it is.
there's a lot of people are so confused by this every time I mention this, but like when you're in the military, bro, there's regular ass jobs in the military. Like there's like finance people, there's
Yeah.
like accountants,
Yeah.
there's lawyers,
Okay.
there's cooks.
Yep.
So does everybody in the military need to have a full-time job? Or
No.
can you
No.
just be a service
No.
member?
Oh, I get what you're trying to say. So everyone is technically like a soldier first, but
Right.
everybody has a job. So your job is not going on the field and being like, I'm an American airman. You know what I
Right,
mean? Your
right,
job
right.
is like, you're doing HR.
Because
You're
that's how
doing
they portray
cooking.
you guys. Just like, I'm
Yeah.
an
No.
airman. That's it.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
No.
what I'm trying to say is like, no, bro, you have normal ass jobs.
There's a
I'm
bunch
going to
of
work
normal
every day and
jobs.
I'm doing
Yeah.
like admin, HR type shit.
When I tell you, like, I did a lot of administrative work too.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally computer work. Like,
didn't you say that you used to give the fitness tests and stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are they
That's
actually as intense as you would assume?
Fuck no,
No,
bro.
Really?
no.
Are you kidding me, bitch?
Definitely not.
You know how many fucking fat ass meatballs
Oh
and
my
crazy people are in the
goodness.
military?
Oh my
I
goodness.
shit you not, bro, because it's harder and
Yeah,
harder
it's
for them
true.
to keep people. So they're making like, bro, I think the Navy just dropped their like IQ level for their ASVAB. Like that shit just went down. Air Force PT standards are a fucking joke.
and keep
bro.
in mind
Wait,
Some
what
people
is
can't even do them.
What does the test look like? Like a fitness assessment test, whatever.
For
What is
starters,
it called? First of all,
for
Just
starters,
a fitness test.
It is just for us. It was just the Air Force fitness assessment, or just the Air Force fitness test.
Period.
That's
Okay.
it. Yeah, and for the Air Force, there's different criteria of it, but like our original PT test is just a 1 minute push-ups. You got to do as many push-ups as you
Push-ups
can
for
in a
1
minute.
minute. Okay.
As many sit-ups as you can do in a minute, and then a mile.
what
and
if
a
I
half
can only
run.
do 3?
Then
you are
will fail
failing your test.
Yeah, you're failing your test.
But
So
And-
what's the minimum
and you're-
requirement?
It depends on your age
depends
level,
on-
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. So,
Yep.
like me, I'm 23, I'm a woman. So, I think for a minute, it would be like 33 push-ups or
33
something like
push-ups,
that.
I
In a
would say.
minute?
Yeah, in
Yeah.
a minute. You have to
Ain't
bust
no
them
fucking
bitches
way.
out.
But now
Hey.
it's getting easier. So, you can do like hand release and they'll give you 2
Yep.
minutes to like, you can go like this, put your
Yep,
hands out.
there's
blah, 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 blah,
different
blah.
types of push-up. Now
Yeah.
there's a plank. Now there's a.
Because why the fuck would you do a plank and then do
Yeah,
sit-ups?
yeah.
Stupid.
I mean, I could do a plank for a minute.
Bitch, the plank is harder. You have to
plank
hold
is a
that
lot
bitch for
harder.
like 250.
And you have to do it
why.
at
Yeah.
the Air Force's standard.
Yeah,
The Air
you can't
Force
have
has
your
a
hands
specific
down
way.
or like clasped like this. It has to be like this.
You can't have your head down. You have to have your head.
Yeah.
Looking straight forward with
Yeah,
your
you have
hands
to actually
closed.
make
Yeah.
eye contact with the administrator.
You have to lock.
Ew,
you have to lock lips with the instructor.
Yeah, you actually have to blow
Stop.
them a kiss at each 30-second interval.
yeah,
like,
but
oh my God, stop.
The Air Force fitness assessment isn't crazy.
So
but I
fucking
mean,
easy. Just don't be a fat fuck.
It's not the hardest test in the world, but it's not like always insanely easy because there's still people that fail it, and it's just because they don't take care of themselves. And like the
It's
problem
also
is
once a
like,
year, too.
I personally feel like it is, you only have to take it once a
if
year.
you pass.
But it's also like it's. I always found it like irritating that like they didn't focus on fitness, because you do have to be like fit to fight, and they always talk about how that's like the brevity of it.
Yeah, but
like,
you know
all
what,
they ever
brother?
show us in the media.
Yeah.
Yes, you got to be fit to fight, but guess the fuck what? You got to take care of yourself in everyday life, brother.
Yeah, you do.
So guess what?
You do.
That's only your fault.
It's only their fault.
If you're a
lot of
meatball,
times.
you're a fucking meatball.
You're
killing yourself every day.
I feel like my time in, they'd let people get away with a lot. We had a lot of fitness assessments that weren't properly documented when I tried to take over, and then we had to like do a lot of shit that
I've heard a lot of passing stories about the fitness test.
It's just fucking crazy, and like there was just so much shit not done correct, and I think it goes back to like what you said about like people saying like, oh well, they just need people, or they just like have these people
retention.
that have been in for so long, so they're just trying to have retention for them because they don't want to lose these people who are so good at this specific job they do. Or then there's the people who are like not good at the job, and they're like, oh, but we need retention, we need to show that we can
have the
hold
numbers
people.
And blah, blah,
and
blah,
the
blah.
truth of the matter is the military in the United States only makes up 1% of the population of the United States.
That's
so
wild.
like the military has,
it's voluntary.
We do not have a fuck ton of people in the military.
It's voluntary until you get drafted. Wait, can they still not draft women?
They
equality, bitch. I hope they can.
I think there's a bill right now circulating where they will draft women.
No, I'm not going.
Well,
she talking all this rah-rah.
why am I going to war? I'm just a girl.
Literally, I'm just a girl. I have pink hair. Like, are you kidding me?
So yeah.
What the fuck? Are you allowed to have like bright colorful hair?
No, you can't.
Nope, you can't have dyed hair.
Has to be,
in the
everything has to be
military.
like natural.
You can get like colored like treatment to your hair, but it has to look natural.
Yeah, it can be like Ariel
It can't
red
be
or
like
blue.
colors. Yeah,
I know, it's so fucking depressing.
it is very
If
depressing.
I wasn't in the military, beach, my hair would be like that fucking fridge right now.
red,
bright red.
red.
Wait, so if you see like somebody that you say that's like a higher rank than you outside of the base and like nobody's in uniform, do you guys still have to do the same thing?
No. I'd
Would
rather
it be
eat
disrespectful
a table.
if you don't?
No, because you're not in uniform.
You're not in uniform. Now, if they're in uniform, if you're outside,
Okay, wait a second.
Every time you're in the military and you're outside and you're in your uniform,
And
you
you
have to wear a
probably
hat.
wouldn't be around that.
You have to wear a hat. It's called a cover. You have to wear a hat. Yeah, when you're outside. And then when you wear your hat, if you walk by another officer, you have to salute the officer. You know.
Wait,
and
so
officers salute officers.
I heard a little rumor that some military people get mad when people wear their uniforms outside of.
Because you're not supposed to fucking do that. First of all, you look dumb as shit. You look like a fucking idiot.
What is it?
People that wear their OCPs outside.
Yeah,
Bro,
you're actually not supposed.
I understand if you're
It is-
traveling.
it is
but, like,
against the thing.
when you're in basic training, they actually teach you
I
like
said
it's
the
against
thing.
the US. It's against the UCMJ. Like
UCMJ.
you're not supposed to wear your uniform after duty hours. Like you're supposed to actually be on duty.
You're
when
making
you're wearing
yourself
your
a
uniform.
target, especially with everything
And you're
going on in
making
the world
yourself-
right
and you're
now.
very much so
Brother,
making
I live
yourself
in
a target.
Philadelphia. You know how awkward it is when I go home and I have to like step over in uniform over
it's not
graffiti
that
that's
hard.
like y'all are murderers.
Damn.
Yeah,
Because there's everything going on in the world.
And there's not like when you are out shopping in your uniform, like these people think like, oh, it's going to be easier to get, like some people think like, oh, it'll just be easier to get a military discount, or it'll be
Is
easier
the military
to do this.
discount worth it?
No, the fuck?
The military
fucked up.
discount
At
is
the
an
time,
absolute
it'd be
joke.
like $3 off.
The military.
ridiculous.
And also, wait, back to the
Lowe's.
uniform.
I just went to Lowe's real quick,
It's like
and
60 cents,
I
right?
spent $9 on something, and I got my military discount at Lowe's, and then it took like 30 cents off.
That's because it's $9.
Fucking crazy.
You know
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
I've
saying?
seen you spend more at Lowe's, and like it did not save you that much money.
Nah, still.
It was like
Well,
$10.
Places
and you
like
spent,
that, they don't
$200.
Chick-fil-A though, bitch. Let me tell you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But back to the uniforms. Why the fuck would you want to, Ganesh, back me up. Why would you want to go shopping?
I would
The shits
not.
are uncomfortable. Everybody
I'm
thinks
sure
they
they
look cool.
are.
They're uncomfortable.
I tailored my uniform to like fit me comfortably, especially like working on the base full time. But like, holy fucking shit!
No, they're
like,
uncomfortable as
They
fuck.
are uncomfortable to stay in all
Does it feel like cardboard?
day.
I feel like it
They're
would.
just not breathable.
They're not cardboard,
Ew.
but it's not.
It's like thick
it's
material.
not porous material.
And
at
in the
all.
summertime, oh
In
my
the summertime,
God,
it was the worst. When we
we
got to take our OCP jacket off or roll them into the short sleeves, oh, I loved it.
And I would rather
loved it.
eat a fucking table, no beverage, than put my boots on every day.
No beverage.
I swear to God, when it's time to put these fucking boots on, my skin like crawls because I'm so tired of it. I'm so fucking tired of it.
Why? What's so bad about them?
Because you gotta fucking tie these stupid ass pants all tight around your ankles, or
Oh
use
my
blousing
God.
straps, and they cut into your. And if you wear the socks that you're supposed to wear, I don't, but who could see my feet? Who gonna check me after this podcast? I'm gonna wear them right. But if you wear like them socks or whatever, like at the end of the day, you have like marks in your skin because they're just like cutting into your fucking skin.
Yep,
oh my God.
Like you have to tie the laces a specific way.
Yeah,
and the
you
laces
still
have to
tie
be
your
tucked.
laces ridiculously tight.
And you gotta tuck them in,
to.
and then they push into your ankle, bro.
Yeah,
that shit's annoying.
You have to
Oh my
like your
gosh.
uniform. Like most people I've seen in the Air Force do not follow their uniform policy well at all.
All these ladies' hairs.
Y'all don't get in trouble for not following.
You're supposed to.
You will get in trouble, but like some people get away with it. I don't know how. Some people have like the craziest fucking untucked laces, or
your
they-
laces have to be tucked in.
Your laces have to be tucked in. You can't have laces
Bitch, your
hanging out.
eyelashes. If you wear fake eyelashes, they have to be a certain size.
The hair was
but think
like
about
a big
it. They
thing.
have to. Number one, we're not here to fuck around. We're here to fight and win.
Yeah.
Right. Also, you have to be recognizable. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like you have a military ID. If you come on a base and your fucking eyelashes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Do you
Like-
guys get like real like dog tags and stuff?
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
We do.
We get dog tags. Yep.
I thought you were gonna say dogs.
I
was like,
have my dog tags.
Me too, in my wallet.
I don't know where mine are.
I don't think you're
actually.
supposed to do that. Actually,
I think I've seen yours before.
yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was like somebody like trying to give you a cute little gift or
is
if it
your
was, like, a real
social
thing.
on your dog tags?
Yes.
Oh,
It is.
maybe I should not fucking carry them in my wallet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you came
No
in
way.
later. Now I think it's your DOD ID number.
Oh,
Now I think
that's
it's
smart.
just your
I
DOD.
think they actually did that because
I
people
think they changed
could
it
get
because
their
people
socials.
could get their socials.
That makes
yeah.
sense.
But my social's still on it. I'm old.
That's wild.
Yeah, you are.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Do you guys? I feel this podcast has been literally so good so far. Like
Yeah.
I have so many more questions
That's
for you guys.
because I'm on here, bitch.
Yes, girl.
And I got a lot to
I'd be
say.
down to do a part
You're
2.
killing- I was gonna ask if you guys would be down to do a part 2
I'd be down to
because
do a
I don't
part
want to
2.
drag this episode
got-
out like
totally.
super long.
You got part 2
We
money
will-
girl.
Yeah.
It's like that. For an Oreo or 2, I'll do it.
Like the picture.
Don't
of
tell
the,
my coach.
Never mind.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe we should do a part 2
Yeah,
of this
I'd be
because I
down.
feel like this has been like so nice and like entertaining and educational, but I don't want to drag it out too long because like
Right.
realistically, people listen to podcasts in the car, and how long is your car ride for real?
I drive 3 hours a day, so long.
Girl, that's wild. Well, you
But
can
Joe
listen to this
Rogan be on
episode
there for
twice.
like 4 hours.
Yeah, that's wild. I don't got Joe Rogan kind of viewers yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Yet.
Yet. One day.
Yet.
We're manifesting.
Okay, cool. So maybe we should just do a part 2.
I'm down.
Wow, I'm excited. Okay, I have one last closing question for you guys before we close out for the day. Do you think the military was everything that you were expecting it to be?
No, fucking
I
easy
can't
no.
wait to answer that in part 2. But
No, answer
definitely-
now.
No, definitely not.
Is
I mean,
anything
like,
what you
I guess I
expect it
could.
to be?
I guess
That's
I could
life,
elaborate
sister.
more in part 2, but like, no, it definitely wasn't. I think
In a good way or a bad way?
Actually, like in the good ways, I would have wanted it to. I thought I was gonna see more of like the way when you're in basic training and they like talk about the camaraderie. I thought the camaraderie would be better when I got out of basic training with like
Okay.
you and your fellow like wingmen. There's a lot of people that are out to gain from stepping on you, and like I've seen that like a lot happen.
How does that help them?
It does. They watch you work hard and then they reap the benefit out of it, and it's they tie themselves along to you so that they can just continue to gain further, or they gain a lot of great insight from you because like they're favorited more by someone that you're aware of that could take them to the top. And then they just up and dump you.
It's very much
and
politics.
It's very much bureaucracy and politics. Yeah, they very
It's
much so.
cutthroat.
There's a lot of people that are it's a cutthroat industry, just like any other industry out there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So not what I expected. I expected a lot more camaraderie, and I felt like I had that, and I felt like there was a lot I was willing to give myself of when I was in, and I gave so much of myself to people in the military, and I got nothing but spat on every single time.
Except for
it
me,
came
Bessie,
back.
we're still friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank
And
you.
I don't want to say I was perfect every single time because I most certainly was not the perfect airman. I was not the perfect sergeant. I failed a lot to gain a lot.
You're human, sis.
But I was treated like shit leaving. Like I was
Wow.
treated like shit getting out. Like it was,
So
it was
definitely
awful.
not what you were expecting
No,
by any
no.
means, and not necessarily in a good way.
No, not always.
What about you?
No, because the whole reason we're having this conversation is our expectations versus the actual reality.
Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
there's a huge misconception that like you'll be busy constantly and you'll be doing like military things. And I think, you know, there's a joke in the military where high level people are like, oh, you know, a lot of my career was just shredding paper because there's a lot of downtime. Like there's a lot of like filler shit to do. And then every once in a while you're like, you know, on a cargo plane or something and you're like, oh my God, I'm actually in the military. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Just kind of stuff like that.
Damn. Wow. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on URL versus IRL. I feel like this has been so cool.
I can't wait for part
I feel
2.
like so educated. Like I just feel like I learned so much
You're smart as
information.
fuck.
No, girl, I am literally a dumb civilian. Actually, one more question. Why does the term civilian feel degrading?
It's not, because you're
not.
perceiving yourself.
It feels degrading. Like
it's
the
not.
way that I feel like I've seen, like, when a higher rank is telling the new service members, like, you're no longer a civilian, it literally sounds like it's like a degrading
How
term.
could it be degrading if 1% of the fucking military is us?
Actually, it's more degrading to military members that we get stripped of civilian
basically
title
just-
because they're literally calling us property. Essentially, they're like, you know, you are owned by the government. They told us from the jump, from the day one.
We
They're like,
own you.
They're like, we own you. The government owns you. The Department of Defense owns you, and they're like, you know, you are going to be broken down and built back up into weapons of destruction, like essentially. And like you are going to learn like the Uniform Code of Military Justice, and you're going to learn rules and regulations and like order. You're going to learn how to receive orders and execute those orders.
So if there was a tier, they're kind of dragging you guys down a tier.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we were
I don't know
like,
if I would
there's
say
a
dragging you down. We just
wouldn't
have
say-
different standards.
We just have
that we
different
have
standards.
to-
Yeah. Like
we're property, bro.
Yeah,
That's
like
wild.
Not
like,
even necessarily
the
in a
only
bad
reason
way.
we're not allowed to be called civilians when you're in the military is because
We're not.
we follow
not.
a different set of standards.
Yeah.
We are not. Like we have to operate at a different level because if you are a soldier meant to kill, they don't want to associate civilians with, oh, a civilian is meant to kill. We don't want to view them like that. You are a soldier. There is a different moral compass. You are killing to save you are for the greater good. So kill and do what you have to do.
I wouldn't even harp on the killing part.
Yeah,
I just
it's
think
not even the
they're just
killing.
trying to like ingrain the culture and the values and all that into.
Well, I mean, yeah, like civilians aren't protecting and serving.
I was using the killing as like the easiest example, but you're
Sis,
right.
is this
You're
something
right.
you want to tell us?
No.
Okay,
Thankfully, I
okay.
didn't have to kill anyone. But
Right.
yeah, thankfully.
Good
but
thing
anyways,
we're sitting far apart.
I know, right?
Are you guys ready to wrap it up? I feel like that's a wrap on today.
Yeah.
Totally.
Thank you guys so much for coming on URL versus IRL. I appreciate it. And I'm going to say it. Thank you guys for your service.
Thanks,
If she says that shit in part 2, I'm leaving.
in public, I'm like, oh, thank you.
Are you fucking kidding me? No way. All right. Talk to you soon on the next URL versus IRL. You guys, I seriously cannot believe that we're going to do a part 2 to this whole episode. Like, I feel like I'm so ingrained in this conversation, and I'm really sad to bring it to an end. But again, I don't want the podcast to drag out for too long. I don't want to lose you guys' attention. And I feel like if you guys have any questions, I would love to hear from you guys so that I can kind of integrate that into our conversation. And don't forget, I can always bring people back onto the podcast later on at another date and we could talk about other things. But I feel like I'm learning so much, and I really feel like the way that the military is portrayed in the media and everything that we've learned, like just through movies and TV shows and stuff like that, is completely unfair. So I feel like this has been a really cool conversation to just like listen to two airmen or an ex-military and airmen to like, you know, just get an inside perspective. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this so far. Make sure that you tune back in for part 2. I'm going to have Josh and Paige back onto the podcast. Super thankful for them coming on here today and not judging me by any means for how absolutely ignorant I am with all of this military talk and information. They're literally teaching me from the very, very, very bare basics and bare bones of this. So you guys, seriously, thank you guys so much for listening. As always, I'm going to leave everybody's links in the description, and please feel free to leave us a 5-star rating if you're listening and you've been enjoying this so far. And I will, as always, see you guys next Tuesday.